today on Divorce Court.
Tim's always messaging females on Twitter saying that they're beautiful, but he only should be telling me that.
I'm here today to prove to my girl that I'm not cheating on her at all and that I'm a faithful man.
I'm not able to buy things that I want because Tim decides to buy expensive things for him and the girls.
Well, Lisa should stop complaining about me buying shoes and stuff because I buy her things too.
He's asked me to marry him multiple times. I've said no because I don't trust him.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Lisa Pence and Tim Fradue. The two of you have been together for 2.5 years. Ms. Pence, you're 22. You got a 5-year-old and you got a 3-month-old with him, correct?
Yes.
The 5-year-old is not his, though.
Yes.
It's yours by a previous relationship.
We've been together for 4.5 years.
4.5 years?
Yes.
Okay, 4.5 years. Wow.
Yes.
And you're 26 years old and you just have that one child together with Ms. Pence, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I understand you've asked her to marry you a couple of times and she keeps telling you no. Is
Yeah.
that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you wanted to come here to get my opinion as to whether or not you should marry him. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But why don't you tell me why you're hesitant? You got it. You've had his baby. You're living together.
Well,
What's up?
I've caught him on multiple apps, multiple different dating sites, POF, Plenty of Fish, Tag, Periscope, and he's on Twitter 3 to 4 hours a day.
3 to 4 hours a day?
Yes, 3 to 4 hours a day. Yeah, he's on Twitter 3 to 4 hours a day. Right when he comes home on Twitter.
Now, who you talk to for 3 to 4 hours a day? I mean, I'm on Twitter, but, 5 seconds here.
You don't respond, though.
Huh?
You don't.
Oh, I've just been outed.
Oh, yeah, he has
I
to
love
respond
it.
to everything. He responds to everything.
You respond to
everybody.
everything?
Everything and everybody, yeah.
Man, I be talking to record labels and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to get my stuff
So
going with music.
it's business.
Yeah, it's
related.
business most of the time. Yeah, it's business. It ain't like
There you go.
Business, but he's telling other females,
it's-
"Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you, beautiful, for accepting my the tweet or my friend
They be
request
following
something.
me.
I don't know.
They be following
Oh, thank you
me.
for the follow. That's
just don't thank you for the
beautiful
follow.
for the
Yeah,
follow.
that's it. That's all I
You don't need
say.
to be
Now,
telling
Mr.
them they're
Fradue,
beautiful.
what are we doing with
you don't
the-
need to be telling them they're beautiful.
Yeah, true. What are you doing with the dating apps, though? That can't be business.
It just made just cooling, talking to friends. That's all. The reason I did that, Your Honor, because I caught her on a dating app too. So I don't see why she's just trying to throw me under the bus.
You didn't.
Were you
didn't
ever
catch
on a
me
dating
doing
app?
nothing.
Were you on a dating app?
It was a women-only website, yes, and I told
So
him
you were
about
looking
it.
for women.
Ah.
We were just talking, yes, but I've
Yeah.
never actually met anybody on there. No, I have not.
Okay.
And he didn't catch me. He asked me. I was on the phone. He asked me, "What are you doing on the phone?"
I read
said-
messages.
Stop.
Yes, ma'am.
I said, "I'm on a women's-only website." He said, "What are you doing on there?" I was like, "I'm just talking to people." And he told me to delete it, so it's deleted. It's been deleted.
Did that happen? You
Yes.
told her to delete it, and she did? And that was that?
Yeah, a couple days after.
Yeah,
But it was deleted. It was deleted.
I have doubts about her. I have doubts about her sexually though.
Why do you have doubts about her sexually?
Because like you don't just get on no woman app just to make friends with no other woman.
Okay, but
Like,
I've
who
never
gets
met
on there?
anybody on there. That's my point. I've never met anybody on there.
But you still talking to him though. Like, what's the
Yeah.
point of talking
Well,
about
Okay,
you?
but you have websites too, though. You have websites too.
Hey, women don't talk. Women just talk. But
But
anyway,
I read messages about her and another women talking about sexual things. So how's that just talking?
yeah. Was it
I've
you were
never-
talking about
no,
sexual
it wasn't-
things?
That
It wasn't
just
sexual
talking.
things. I've never met with any women on there though.
She got a little curious. She got on the app.
little
She
curious.
talked a little bit. You told her to cut it out. She quit it. So you know what I mean. You move on. You move forward. What's really bothering you?
Me, just when I talk, just the apps. Like, stop being on Twitter. Stop being on these apps. Deactivate these apps on your phone. You don't need these apps on your phone. That's what's bothering me. And then the trust issues with him going out all the time, going to clubs with his family member. I just don't trust him.
She pops
There's
up.
What?
Who pops up?
She does.
She
I've
pops
never
up at the
popped
club?
up.
Yeah. Like,
I get my 5-year-old dress and get the 3-month-old dress and pop up to where you're at.
Sometimes.
No, I've never done
Now,
that.
Mr.
'cause,
Fradue, I see you over there not taking this seriously, and I get
Yes, ma'am.
You're 26 years old. And so you got to decide, are you going to be a man or a boy?
I'm a man.
Yeah. And so men have to take certain things seriously. Men have to make certain compromises. Men have to make certain sacrifices. They can't just pop off out the mouth. They can't just do what they want. They can't just have dating apps on their phone. You got to decide who you want to be. And I think what she's asking you to do is decide what kind of man you want to be. You want to be the kind that's good and honest and faithful, then she'll say yes. Or you're going to be the silly individual that you've been, and then she will continue to say no. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
See? You with me? What is your primary concern about her?
She being silly and popping up on me. That's how.
When have I popped up on you?
Ms.
can I-
Pence,
can I-
please.
can I-
I'm going to give you an opportunity. Why don't you tell me a story about that?
Thank you. One time, my relative called me up and he asked me, he's like, man, hey, I'm going to a mansion party. Do you want to slide?
Going to a what party?
Mansion party.
A mashing party?
Mansion.
Mansion party.
Yes.
Okay.
Man. Like a mansion party. So I said, usually I don't really go. So I said, yeah. So I said, yeah, I'll go with you. Then she asked me like, where you about to go? I said, I'm about to slide out real quick. She's like, can I come with you? I said, nah, it's just gonna be guys there. It's gonna be kicking it with the guys. No, you can't come.
At the mansion party, there are no women.
Right.
I never
Another
been to one,
time-
but I know there are
Yeah.
women there.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
But she popped up. That's the. But
I
anyway.
never popped up.
But anyway.
Go past the popped up thing. That's not getting you anywhere.
Okay.
Tell me, what are your concerns, or do you have any? Because you want to get married. There's nothing stopping you.
Stop popping up on me. Trust me. When I tell you I'm going
If you
somewhere,
say
tell
pop
me I'm
up
going.
one more time,
What?
I told you we are done with that.
Yes, ma'am. But it's the
We
truth.
are done
my
with that.
goodness.
It may be
It's the
very well
truth.
true, but we're not talking about that anymore. Talk about any concern you might have with respect
Controlling.
to controlling. Tell me about that, and
Controlling.
if you say pop up.
Yes, ma'am. Controlling. Like one instance, I was going to another barbecue with my relative, and I just went out. She's like, where are you going? I said, I'm about to go to a barbecue. She's like, okay. Next thing you know, like 45 minutes later, she pops up at the barbecue. I said, well, she showed up at the barbecue. And I apologize, Your Honor. She showed up at the barbecue.
I'm
What
just
you
popping
doing?
up
Who you
everywhere.
talking
Just
to?
popping
What
up
you doing
everywhere,
this?
huh?
Let me ask you
like,
this,
come
Mr.
on, man.
Fradue.
Like, I'm a grown
Do
man.
you ever go places with her and the kids? Are you
All the
ever
time.
together
All the
as a
time.
family?
All the time.
Ms. Pence, is that accurate?
Yes, that's true.
So why do you feel the need to pop up?
I've never popped up. I've never done that.
You
we
didn't
have a
show
3
up at the
month-
barbecue we just talked about.
No. I might text and call, but I'm not gonna give the 3-month-old
Why do
dress
you
and the
text
5-year-old
and
dress
call?
to go. Because I don't trust him. He does things for me not to trust him. I look who's calling. It's her. Why does she keep blowing up the phone? What did you do to her for her to keep blowing up the phone? Then he finally tells me, he's like, oh, we did do something that night. And to this day, he hasn't apologized. Well, he says sorry, but I didn't cheat.
So, Ms. Pence, why don't you trust him?
The reason why I don't trust him, for instance, a woman came over. He's saying, oh, this is my friend. He let me meet the woman. I was like, okay, that's fine. We were watching a movie. It's getting late. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. You guys, have a good time, whatever. I'm thinking they're going to watch a movie.
Right.
So I go to bed. A week later, she texts the phone. I'm watching a movie on his phone. She texts saying, oh, I can mess up your relationship. I'm gonna tell your girl. And I'm asking him, what happened why is she texting you this? Oh, nothing. She wants to be with me. She likes me. She just want to mess up our relationship. I let it go. I was like, okay, let it go. A week goes by. She's blowing up the phone. I keep hearing the phone ring. I look who's calling. It's her. Why does she keep blowing up the phone? What did you do to her for her to keep blowing up the phone? Then he finally tells me, he's like, oh, we did do something that night. And to this day, he hasn't apologized. Well, he says sorry, but I didn't cheat.
Well, you did cheat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You did cheat.
I ain't cheating.
Yeah.
You know how
Having
to-
sexual, hey.
Yes, ma'am.
Having sexual contact with another woman, especially that proceeds to the ultimate act, is cheating.
Right.
That's number one. To do it with your woman in the next room
Right.
is just foul. I mean, it's just foul. How could you introduce that into your relationship?
Well, I didn't put it. Well, you know how the gopher goes in on
I'm
Groundhog
like,
Day.
that's the main judge. That's the main reason why I don't trust him. And supposedly I pop up. I've never popped up. I call him and text him to
He's
see
just silly.
where he's going.
Yeah, he's silly.
I never pop up. I don't
Yeah,
have time to
he's
get the
silly.
girls dressed and just pop up to wherever you're at.
Yeah, he's a little silly. Ms. Pence, I'm going to ask you a question. You're 22, you got 2 kids.
Yes.
Where are you headed as a person? Let's say he pops out tomorrow. Where are you headed as a person? What are you aiming for?
Well, I went to school for nursing. It's just I haven't pursued it. I haven't found anything in that field. No one's hiring in that field where I'm living at right now. So I've been working at a call center as a customer service
but you're
representative.
still actively pursuing that, or maybe
Yeah.
going back to school to get her an advanced degree. Because
Right.
nurses, they're in demand.
Right.
I understand it was an understaffed thing.
Right.
Can I ask you tell you this? No matter what happens with Mr. Fradue, please stop
Right.
having children until
yeah.
you've gotten somewhere else.
Okay.
Don't put yourself in a position where you have to feed a whole lot of people, and then you're going to have to rely on a guy that may not be that reliable because you don't have the wherewithal to get where you're going on your own.
Right.
'cause
Oh, no,
you're
this is
trying
the
to
last
deal with some
one.
people.
I understand what
But
you're saying.
You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're beautiful and wonderful, and you love them to death, but
Oh, yeah, I understand what you're saying. This is my last one.
I understand that you have some concerns about his spending habits and that you have a serious problem with it, and we need to talk about that. But you got, for all intents and purposes, 2 children, and you got to be a man about it. You can't.
Man, I'm always a man.
No. Buying shoes, expensive shoes for a 3-month-old.
That's what I want to do
That's
with my money.
childish.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Is it possible that Tim cheated on Lisa without having sex? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Divorce Court. What's the problem with his spending?
Well, the problem with his spending is he decides to buy himself expensive shoes, the girls expensive shoes, and I keep trying to explain to him that they don't need expensive shoes. And I have a picture of his collection
Okay.
here.
Well, we're going to take a look at your collection, Mr. Fradue, while you explain to us your point of view on the shoe situation.
Oh, well, the shoe situation is simple. I'm a king. I feel like I should look like a king at all times. That's why I buy me and my daughters expensive things, because those are my princesses. They deserve expensive
But they're
things.
still growing. That's what I'm
Man,
trying
if I
to
want to
tell
buy
you.
them
They're still
expensive shoes, that's what
growing.
I'm going to do, because I got the money to do it.
What you need, I never had a whole lot of expensive stuff when I was growing up. But I never saw a bill when I went to college. Not one. Because my daddy didn't buy me expensive shoes. My daddy paid for college. He stacked his cash. He had 2 little girls. I'm the family failure. My sister is a brain doctor. And we never saw a bill because Daddy stacked his cash. He didn't have to go around saying he was a king. We called him king because he behaved that way. He showed like a king.
Right.
But he didn't have to wear somebody else's shoes with somebody else's name on it to define him or to show how bad he was. He just like, yeah, girls, you got into Harvard? Cool. Gotcha. Now you king that for a minute and put those shoes away. I so hate that. I so hate that. I mean, and the shoes are usually sold in a community that can least afford that.
I can afford them. That's why I'm buying.
No, you can't
It's
afford them.
over- it's over.
You don't
He's
have
spent-
backup money.
Right.
You spend your money.
Who don't got backup money?
You don't have backup money.
Okay,
You got their college funds are funded?
I can.
You can, but you haven't. So you
can.
don't have the time yet. That's a dumb thing to do.
Right. And another problem we have, he waits till later to pay the bills. He doesn't just want to do it at that time when it's due.
Come on, bro. I pay the bills on time.
You-
Come on, bro.
You wait till later. You wait till like the last minute to pay it. And then when I get paid, I got to do it.
Are you serious, bro? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Now,
Come
I mean,
on,
Mr.
bro.
Fradue,
Come
I understand your situation. You can't,
Yes.
no. You came in here, you were going to clown a little bit, and then I got serious about the shoes. I got sick of hearing pop up. I asked you what kind of man you wanted to be, and now you don't know, now you're feeling a little silly. And I'm sorry for that. But you got, for all intents and purposes, 2 children, and you got to be a man about it. You can't.
Man, I'm always a man.
No. Buying shoes, expensive shoes for a 3-month-old.
If that's what I want to do
That's
with my money,
childish.
that's what I'm going to do.
That's childish.
Period.
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do is childish.
how's
You
that
gotta do
childish?
what life demands of you, not what you want to do.
I do what life demands of me.
Why do you think Lisa has not agreed to marry Tim yet? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Now, you wanted to say that he was a good dad.
Yes, that's the reason why. That's the main reason why I stay with him after the cheating situation. He takes care of the 2 kids. Even the 5-year-old that's not his, he treats her like that's his child. That's the main reason why I'm still with him.
That's good of you. That's good of you. I'm going to ask you to decide what kind of man you're going to be. And I'm going to ask you to decide whether or not you're going to be the kind of man who sacrifices for his family and puts them before his own image.
I always.
No, you don't. You don't. This woman won't even marry you. The mother of your child won't marry you. You have failed to show up. She's got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. She won't marry you because she not seeing a guy that she can lean on and trust and depend on. Women are always begging for a ring. Always begging for a ring, but she doesn't think you're ready. I don't think you're ready.
Stop holding stuff against me then. What you mean?
What do I
come
hold
on,
against
bro.
you?
Oh, see,
What
that,
am I holding
Mr.
against you?
Fradue,
against me.
Mr.
Come on,
Fradue.
man.
What am I holding against you?
Ms. Pence, he's not ready.
How am I not
He's
ready?
not an adult.
I'm not.
And he can't take criticism, and he can't take a look at what he's doing and say, this might not be the best thing. I think you're smart not to marry him yet. I think you need to concentrate on going back to school, getting your degree, and going into nursing. You may or may not end up with him, but you need to be able to depend on you. I wouldn't marry a guy who isn't so crazy about me that he don't want no other women. I wouldn't marry a guy who can go dipping around and about. I wouldn't marry a guy who want no apps on the phone. I want to marry a guy all up in my grill all the time. I never wonder where my husband is. I never wonder what he's doing. I don't have to go on his phone. I don't have to. I got it. Don't chase. Goodbye.
Me and Tim are going to hold off on getting married. See if he can change, maybe make some changes to better our relationship.
I understand that I have a lot of growing up to do. I think I need to just start deleting the apps on my phone and just put my family first at all times. That's what I need to do for our marriage, for us to get married.